Friends, 107 days of war. The ground situation again seems to be stagnant since yesterday, be it north in Kharkov region, in south Kherson region, or even in east, the cauldron or the bulge we have been talking about, where intense fight is on. Ukraine has said that Russians are using their soldiers as cannon fodder to take over the rest of the Severodonetsk and surrounding regions, while they themselves have accepted that they are losing more than 100-150 soldiers per day due death and more than 500 due injuries, disability or other reasons. This is a huge loss, of course, on both sides, but how long will Ukrainians sustain these losses is to be seen. I will come back on this again. But in the meantime, let us have some general informations. Visegrad, a cultural and political alliance of Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Poland, have claimed that Russian military has launched more than 2,100 missiles against Ukrainian targets since the war started, out of which, this is very important as they claim, 600 have been launched from Belarus, which of course seems to be totally wrong. On economic front, Institute of International Finance claims that Russia will shrink by 15% this year economically, which is doubtful seeing that the Russian economy in fact is growing, as we have talked earlier also. The three mercenaries, two from UK and one from Morocco, have been sentenced death. They have been awarded death sentence by the DPR court, on which the British Foreign Secretary has said that it is illegal and incorrect and must be taken null and void. What will happen in future is not known, but there have been some posts on social media, of course jokingly, that US should offer exchange of these three POWs, if they claim so, for Julian Assange. Will US sacrifice Julian Assange? I doubt. Head of Nicoleo has claimed that the people of his province are on brink of mass starvation. Even the bread is being issued to the citizens only on card. Per head, one loaf in 3 days. This is really a very precarious situation if it is true. UN in the meantime has said on food front that poor countries are paying more than the rich ones due war. I wonder if it wasn't so during the peacetime. May not be at to this level, but yet it was. But if you try and recollect, when did the peacetime exist on the earth? It is long time, because the war is perpetual globally and happening, not only arms and ammunition wise, but even internal war, due capitalism, due climate degeneration and other reasons. The CSTO, that is Collective Security Treaty Organization, of which Russia is a part, and CIS Anti-Terrorist Center, which is part of Commonwealth of Independent States, had meeting. What was the outcome is not known, but these meetings are important. As also a far-fetched news that Russian troops will be allowed in Nicaragua to train Nicaraguan military. Yes, America will not be happy on this. There is a report from British intelligence. The comparison between Russian and Ukrainian military on different platform. On artillery, Ukraine versus Russia, it is 1:20. Massive, despite Western aids. As far as ammunition is concerned, it is 1:40. And Further, they have said range wise also they have calculated, despite the medium and long range weapons that Ukraine is acquiring or likely to acquire, the ratio remains 1:12. We can understand the massive, rather gigantic difference between the military ability of the two countries. It is extremely difficult for Ukraine to match up. And this brings the story of re-entry of the tanks into the war. Thank you, friends. On this, tomorrow again.